Test, test. Hello, fellow members of the Micro Squad. Welcome back to the Micromotor Bazaar, Part 3, Final Edition, XMas Edition. I was really looking hard for my XMas head, but damn, I couldn't find it. Test. Oh, see, it's working. Hello, fellow members of the Micro Squad. Welcome back to the Micromotor Bazaar. So, maybe this happens once or twice more. Some of the computers around here. Who knows? For those of you in seeing this over the YouTube subscription, come over to the Discord chat if you want to interact with me. If you want to interact with all the other people hanging out here. Welcome, Mullet. Welcome, Howdy Ho, Pilsner Popper. I'm sorry for being a bit late, but it's been an extra busy week and an extra busy weekend. So just in time, I got all the gear strung together again to make the final show for the year. So gonna be a little bit of a firework. Maybe a little bit quicker firework than usual as well, but with harder bangs. So to start the show, sounding good, says Pilsner Popper. Nice, yeah, I learned I can crank it up a little higher than I did before. Maybe even a little more. Yeah, you guys don't need to turn up your volume as much. Let's start the show with a little bit of Ben Shepard's music and a shout out to my buddy Chemal, who's the man behind the Tiny Whoop simulator. If you haven't seen that, get ready. Don't play again. Yeah, so if you haven't seen that before, I haven't played it yet because there's only a Windows version out yet, and my gaming machine is this thing behind me, a 27-inch 5K iMac with 64 gigabyte OWC RAM and some crazy ass, I forgot the specs, graphic card. It would be blasphemic to install Windows on that. So if you want to do me a favor, please go to this video and comment, please make a Mac version. Thank you. So back to the chat room we go. MTG Voodoo has found its way into the chat room, and JB as well. Yo, what's happening, dog? Today is the day of the Micromotor Bazaar Crazy Edition. Let me find that other camera. Here, I put my desk cam a little higher. Looks a bit weird, the colors, for some reason. Maybe I didn't switch the anti-flicker thing on. But yeah, you can see a couple. Oops, sorry. This camera doesn't want to stay like this. A couple of the things that I'm going to pack in little Bazaar boxes today, as the theme was of the last 2 episodes. I pack stuff and I sell tickets for it, so you can get a random box sent to you. This episode I'll up the ante. There's still 20 or so, I think, left of the other 70 I packed over the last 2 episodes. So they'll get all mixed in with that, with some I'd consider a little higher value, at least emotional value to me, but also, yeah, if you look at it rationally, more physical value in them, and also a lot more collector value probably for you guys. So yeah, there will be some crazy things under the hammer today. I've stocked up on boxes. I have a few of these larger boxes, but only like, I think, 10 or so, because the post office didn't have any more. But they did have a couple more of these little VHS shaped boxes. And also the friendly fellas at customboxes.com.au made some super special crazy boxes for me. They're made out of pallet cardboard, the thing you usually wrap tanks in if you ship them into the war zone. So yeah, crazy ass boxes. They will be used to pack the most precious, is that how you pronounce it, items, amongst others, these little Christmas sleighs. So yeah, as I said, I was really looking hard for my Christmas hat, but yeah, we did the Christmas pictures for the family Christmas cards a week or 2 ago. Yeah, I don't know where the Christmas hats ended up. Sorry, so please, yeah, imagine me with a Santa hat. So let's have a look who found its way in the chat room already. Camera number 1. La 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 la, holla holla, my friend, Madman, welcome to the club. Did you get your package yet, Madman? Sent you a crazy little package. Wife needs a Santa sleigh, JB. Then I suggest you hurry over to the Micromotor Bazaar ticket booth and get yourself a chance to score one. You know, I'll be sending these packages from Australia, so there's a chance that it arrives after Christmas. But for a couple of the jackpots, I will send them in the crazy tank cardboard with a lot of padding, and I will send them via DHL. The DHL Express is obviously, and I want to take the chance for a big shout out to my friends at DHL Express. Without you, things would not have worked as smoothly over the year. So to say thank you to DHL, I'm just gonna ship these little things across the world with their very expensive, but yeah, still very valuable service. So yeah, the guy in the back here, who you usually see turning up with the big rings in the ears and the yellow-red shirt. Yeah, Scott, thanks a lot for your work over the years, and everyone else involved in you crazy logistic guys. No one's doing it better. I've shipped stuff with every other company that delivers things, And yeah, DHL is the best. Every time I get something sent myself and it comes and I get a DHL Express shipment notification, I smile. So Mullet has enough. His will arrive in the next days. I hope you get something fun, Mullet. So yeah, this one was shipped regular post, Madman. So I think it probably takes another couple of days to arrive. Yeah, so today I'm not going to bore you with wrapping all these things individually. I'll just go through a couple of them to show them to you, and then I'll finish the live stream and get packing. I think that'll be a more efficient way. I think in 1 hour live stream and 2 hours of packing, I'll get more done than doing 3 hours of live stream and packing. And because I want to get these things moving in time so that they have a chance to arrive at your place on or before Christmas, yeah, I will ship them in the next 24 hours. So all the highlights that you see in this video, they'll be shipped within the next 24 hours. There might be items left, and the bazaar will still be open after that, and we will trickle those out over the coming days, as long as you guys keep buying tickets and as long as there's stuff left. And yeah, I can tell you, I'm gonna clean all of that behind here and next to here out over the next couple of weeks. And yeah, just going through, there's just micro quad parts coming out of every box and corner. It's a bit crazy. I forgot what I all did over the years, but yeah, so it's also a trip down memory lane. I can't have you participate in all of them now, otherwise it would take too long. But yeah, I'll be busy packing over the next couple of days and weeks. But yeah, some highlights will disappear within the next 24 hours in crazy boxes over DHL Express. Let's start with a few highlights. Oops. Did I post a sad face here? I'm sorry, Pilsner Popper. I posted a sad face for some reason. I don't know how this worked. How did I do that? How did I do that? Oh, here. Add reaction. Ah, I see, you can post. Do you have tracking for the... do I have someone who is... here. What is that? Scary face? Scream Cat. So, Scream Cat, Mullet. I have no tracking for the surprise boxes. They all sent... oops, what's that here? Oh, someone made Pilsner Papa made a poop face. Alright, I'm sorry for opening that can of worms, but yeah, please go ahead, post smiley faces if you are so inclined. No, there's no tracking for the surprise boxes because yeah, posting little boxes is expensive enough from Australia without tracking. They recently increased the prices, so they have all been sent standard mail, and the tracking only goes to the border. So let's get moving. The first 4 jackpot items will be these little Santa sleighs. I have 5 of them. I had 6, but I broke one of them so bad that it could not be fixed. And yeah, I'll give you a few tips about this to how to build them, because those 4 that I'm going to send away, I'll keep one for myself. They come like this. They will have frame, motors, propellers, and I'll include a couple of extra spare propellers. They will not have a flight controller, and they will not have a Santa. So you have to cater for brain and for Santa yourself. It's big enough to carry even the largest flight controllers, like this version 2.3 classic Alien Wii, and it works pretty good with the parrot props. You need to flip them over, so there will be a set of them on there, but if you want to replace them, I suggest to purchase 66mm parrot props, drill them and turn them over. Flies like on rails. So last time I already planned to pack them, but I didn't have the right material to do that. So I found some foam from equipment cases. This is the one from the J-car cases, which kind of flakes off relatively easy, at least for an equipment case. For, you know, packing stuff, it's pretty good. So they will be sitting like that in the box. It should be pretty good. And then comes another piece of foam. Maybe that size. Comes on top of it. And then this gets clamped into the box. So that's the plan. Let's see if that works out. So yeah, I store them unfolded, otherwise it would take up too much space. Yeah, I usually use these boxes to send trays of motors around the world. The last thing I want is this, like a whole pack of trays to be crushed and they're all magneted together. So that's one of crazy boxes. Let's see. So clamp it in like this. Maybe a little more foam. I'll not go anywhere. And then, yeah, include a couple spare motors for good measure. And the cards. So if you have any problems setting up center sleigh, give me a call. Shouldn't be too hard. Flies pretty good, that thing. If you want to dig around in my dig with a G, if you want to dig around in my Vimeo channel, you'll find, I think, 2 videos I made about this thing flying. And one of them we loaded up with quite a few more little motors. I think 3 or 4 packs, no, 3 or 4 sets of motors. I don't know. We loaded up with quite a few motors and it would still be flying. So the only thing you should be aware of when building this thing, or even more when flying this thing, the fragile part is that joint here between where the 2 bars of the carrier part of the sleigh meet. I epoxied 3 of them. I mean, you can fix it when it breaks, but it's better to reinforce it before it breaks. So you can see that blob of epoxy in there. Doesn't look that nice, but yeah, it looks better than a broken sleigh. So on these 3 here, I have epoxied that joint. I have one which is kind of half finished, but I thought I'd leave it like this. Completely white looks cool too, so I've put red props in there instead. No painting at all, so it's also a little bit lighter, maybe a gram or so. But also there's nothing epoxied around here. So if you get the white one, I suggest to put some epoxy around the arms like on this one here. So yeah, that'll be 4 of them, and as I said, I'm not gonna bore you with packing them individually, but it'll be done later today with a little help from my friend. Actually, from my son. Next one in line. Oh, well, let's have a look. Do you have any comments? So yeah, please ask any questions. If you have any questions about Santa sleigh, ask them now, because whoever receives them can go back in the video and check out what I have to say about Santa sleigh. So let me have a look in the chat room. Please ask any questions. My crazy propeller heads in the chat room. And if you are not here yet and want to ask me a question and are watching the live stream, you can come to the Discord live chat. I have not posted a link this time yet, I believe. So let me go to the live stream page and post that here. Videos. Where is it? Live streaming. Events. Go to live control room. 33 watching now. So if some of these, you 33, are not yet in the chat room, please come over here. I'll post it in the video description. Save. And also into the chat. Hi chat. The final countdown. Nick Naughty says moin. I say moin too. Welcome Nick. Sorry to react too late to this, but yeah, I'll read through this once here and then I probably won't go back to the YouTube chat. So if you want to chat, please come over to the Discord chat, which Pilsner Popper, thank you very much, has already posted in here, so I don't have to do this. Guillermo Nespolo asks if it's on. Hi there, test 1, 2. Yes, it's on, my friend. Join the official Discord chat. Thanks, Pilsner Popper, for posting it again. Yes, Iron Man flies FPV. Another shout out to my buddy Chema in the UK, who makes awesome t-shirts, amongst others. This one here, I love it. The final countdown. Merry Christmas, Ty. And Anthony says sick run, probably in comment to the Tiny Whoop Simulator run. Chris, thanks for ordering a Bazaar box. It's already shipped. Thank you very much. Not many people use the YouTube chat because it's so crippled. You cannot post links, you cannot post pictures, videos and stuff, so that's why we are not using it. I apologize, but that's how it is. Little Jam loves the shirt. How comes, my friend? Yeah, this year he's hiding in here. So Chema is also in the YouTube chat. That's the guy who's responsible for many of my t-shirts and for many of my stickers and for the Tiny Whoop Simulator. And by the way, the best source for micro motors in the UK. So if you need anything micro stuff and are in the UK, please go to dronejunkie.co.uk and you'll be served well. Hoop Dog shirt is not from Gemma. If you want to have a Hoop Dog shirt, this is made by my buddy Jay, and they're available on Micromotor Warehouse in the t-shirt section. What's up, AW Turbo 4? Hello from Orlando, he says. Hello from Australia, I say. So Please come to the Discord chat if you want to chat with me. That's where I hang out and read things. If you are talking directly to me, please include a @Dr. Ben as Madman did up here. Then it's easier for me to filter out what I should listen to in the chat room, because there's usually quite a bit going on. Pilsner Poppers on the ball. Thank you very much for sorting it out, my friend. Complacent can listen to me while I chat in Discord. Android, yeah. So if you want to do all this on a smartphone, ask Mr. Scotty Complacement. He's the Android wizard. He can do everything from his phone. I couldn't do anything or just one thing if I only had one computer. So I need many of them and lots of other devices and things and a whole rack of stuff. So I admire you to be able to do all this from one device. If you want to know how that works, ask Scotty in the Discord chat. Big love, says John Junkie. Welcome, my friend. Everyone, please go to John Junkie. He has awesome stuff. Well, it doesn't like YouTube chat. Of course, please post a simulator link. So it's even for free right now. The only reason I'm not playing it like all the time right now is because there's no Mac version yet. So please, Shemal, as I posted in the Facebook comment on that, I'll donate a couple bucks. Tell me how much it's needed. Tell me how much do I need to donate to accelerate the development of Tiny Whoop for the Mac. I mean, eventually, if the pain gets too hard, I'll somehow install Windows on this thing, but yeah, please don't do that to me. So let's move on. Thanks everyone for hanging out here. Yes, here. Mac is in beta testing. Please let me beta test. I don't mind if it's crashing or if it's doing stuff. I've been software tester for quite some time. Not really full time, but I've been working a lot with software tester, and I've done some. Actually, I did software tests just to entertain myself and extend my skill set a little bit. I was actually working in our testing department for a couple months before I came to Australia to teach Asia Pacific network compression and optimization technologies. So yeah, but these times are over. But still, yeah, please give me something to test. I don't mind hacking around with some files under the hood to make it work and give you some feedback. So, no Acro mode in Dronehausen yet, but soon. Yeah, this thing looks so realistic to me. When I watch this, it really feels like you'd be flying a tiny whoop. See, I'm also learning pronunciation. So, let's move on. What else is on the table here? As I said, I'm not going to pack it all today, but just go through it and separate these two parts of the camera. This here, it's the FPV Millennium Falcon. I think I showed it last time already. So there's an Alienware flight controller and I think some Hobby King DSM receiver in there. Scraped out all the original parts and yeah, added that flight controller plus a little camera which is supposed to go on the front here. I was doing some test flights and it doesn't seem to have a whole lot of power. I don't know why. I assume it's the props. So I've put already 17,000 kV motors in there. Maybe I have some issues on the flight controller. I don't know exactly. I have put this on my project list and it never got off there. So now it's time to get off here and give someone else the challenge to make this thing fly. I mean, it did fly, not that it didn't fly at all, it just didn't fly as powerful as I was hoping for. Pretty similar to stock, and if you've seen this thing flying stock, yeah, some people think it's fun. I didn't think so much. It's just kind of like paddling along, and yeah, I thought, you know, this, because it's so crash resistant, I'm gonna fly this thing around like crazy, like a bumper car. Yeah, it didn't work out too well, but I think there's potential. If you have a couple hours to spare and work it all out, change the parts back and forth, you can probably make this fly really well. I'll include a couple of different motors, and yeah, I think you're gonna have to live with the props unless you find some other ones that are working here. Maybe just cut some tube blades down. But yeah, I think the problem is the props. That's not enough surface area on the props to make this thing fly well enough. Yeah, just see the pictures here in the chat room. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, I pre-ordered all three of them, I have to admit. It was an expensive exercise, but yeah, I'm looking forward to receiving them. But yeah, this year, damn wrong button again. This year will be part of the Micromotor Bazaar. It will be packed, well, even if you just stuck a sticker on it and sent this in the mail, it's very likely to survive. So this foam is really strong. It took a major effort to cut this apart. This is really, really good, strong, and very nice looking foam. So yeah, I hope you make it work. If you make it work, please call me and tell me about it. See, any questions? Any comments in the chat room? MTG Voodoo asks if I do have a Canadian distributor. No, I don't. And for most of the parts, it's also not necessary because we can just ship stuff across from Texas. But for batteries, so MTG Voodoo, if you have someone who wants to deal batteries in Canada, there is plenty of potential. Please contact me or contact info@mylipo.de and ask for Boris. Tell him that I sent you. It's late for me, but I love it, says Drone Junkie. Sorry, it's like in the middle of the night in the UK, I think. But yeah, that's the best time to work anyway, especially in winter. 2 a.m. here, he says. Someone named Ty Whitehead is having difficulties logging into Discord, says Tim. Thanks for telling me your name. Tim is much easier to pronounce to whatever crazy name this is here. Just send him this link. Yeah, you can just... I'm using the Discord app, but I think it just runs on the web as well. Yes, Drone Junkie, I need this one here. Looks like a pretty unique, let's put it this way, setup with these motors and props. So I definitely want to see how that crashes. Some big props they are, right? Looks like 3 or 4 inch dowel props. This one here has a lot smaller props, transparent, I believe. Looks cool. What's the fastest setup so far, the Rambo or hopped up Tiny Whoop? Well, build it as light as possible and put 205 milliamp high voltage my lipos onto it in combination with 615-19 motors and 2-bladed props. That's, I think, the fastest one. And yeah, I'm using the Rambo hoop isn't the fastest. It's using the 1.2 gram heavier frame in order to be more impact resistant. So if you want to have the fastest, use the original Inductrix frame. Dr. Ben has the formula. The formula for the hoop. Yeah, I like to sacrifice a little performance for crashability. Jason is eating char kwai teo king prawn from the Malaysian restaurant. Oh, I'd like to have some of that, my friend. I just have water. Moving on. I'm a bit sad to give this guy away, because I should have spent more time with him. And yeah, I actually owe this to my friends at Micro FPV and Mr. Michael MJ666 Jacob, who has been working hard on the flight controller, which is in there, which is yeah, the production version of the 32-bit Alien that you can get at microfpv.eu. And it has the carbon hex frame made by Smart Shapes, including a non-released yet, at least I think he's already selling them on his website, but I don't have them yet, but I will sell them in the future. He switched to the other camera to show you a close-up of that. There's a tiltable carbon camera mount on it, which holds, in this case, an MC900 90-degree angle camera, and in the back there's a I forgot the model code for it, a 400 milliwatt 5.8 gigahertz Boscam transmitter. Very, very reliable transmitter. I've used many of them with one of these hardcore Banggood antennas soldered to it. A lot beefier than many other antennas. So this thing takes a beating. I haven't fixed it to the frame because yeah, the holes were not in the right position for that. It's not epoxied, so if that solder joint breaks, just redo that. In this case, the solder joint is kind of the point where it breaks. I mean, you can reinforce that with epoxy or with hot glue, and it will be a lot less likely that it breaks. But then when it breaks, it's a lot more of a pain in the behind to fix. If that solder joint should break, you just take off the top plate and re-solder it. Yeah, I have not crashed this thing very much, not nearly as much as I should have. The main reason for that is it isn't tuned properly yet, which I think is mainly due to the fact that it still runs some not up-to-date firmware, so you can flash Betaflight 3.0 something onto it and it will work out of the box a lot better. That's what I've been told by Michael, but yeah, there was just so many things to do. I just didn't get to do this, but I think this is a pretty awesome setup if you have the space to fly. This was one of my main reasons to not spend so much time on it, because I just not have the space to fly this thing around here. It's pretty powerful and it gets moving pretty quickly. So yeah, this is one of the things that never came to the bottom of the project list. Time to move on. So yeah, also we'll do somehow the foam sandwich version. Should work pretty well. Just sandwich that into the box. Somehow glue it in, or maybe wrap some, I don't know exactly I'm gonna do this, but as it said, I won't bore you with details. I somehow get them all packed up so they all survive the journey well. Another never released, well, hang on, before I do this, let me move back to the chat room. Any questions, my friends? Pizza and pasta. Oh, where new? Oh, here. New messages from here. Later, the horse course is leaving the house at 1 p.m. 6 minutes ago. See you later, my friend. Yeah, Miss MTG Voodoo, you want to deal batteries in Canada? You get very busy. I get so many messages from Canada asking for batteries. Is there any way to buy the stock Inductrix frame? I don't know. I didn't look because, yeah, as I said, I'm perfectly fine with having a gram more and not so much work. Drone Junkie loves the Spec 80. I've seen many good words about it. I don't have one myself. Yeah, I'm getting hungry as well. There's a crazy fast race frame you can print, but if you crash, be ready to rebuild. Yeah, this is the problem with 3D printing frames. There are only very few 3D printed frames that actually last. Scotty is back. Welcome. Adam has pizza and pasta. Flybot. What's up, Flybot? Welcome back. Yes, MJ666 is a good dude. He's probably asleep right now as well. Scotty wants to make a 2S carbon hex, I believe. Jason is ordering more cameras. Yes, if you want to be helped, if you want to build microquads, come over to the Micromotor community and you will be helped. Lots of very, very helpful people there. Thanks for everyone, to everyone hanging out there and helping out there. Here, this is a hex. Yeah, this is exactly. Thank you, Madman, for posting the picture here. This is the flight controller which is in that hex that I've just shown. You can get it at microfpv.eu if they still have some. Yes, this box is a good one, but yeah, I think there will be another couple of good ones. Yeah, you know, not exactly giveaway, but, you know, almost. It's kind of like a Bazaar raffle Christmas giveaway thing. So there's a lot more value in that what you pay for. But even if you're not happy, you can come to the Micromotor Bazaar thread in the Micromotor community forum, which is linked in. I think I forgot to link this in the product description. So yeah, thanks Personal Popper for posting a link to the community forum in there. If you search for Bazaar, and I'm sure someone's going to post the link soon as well, you will get to the thread, which is intended to be the actual Bazaar. You know, this is just kind of what I'm doing here is the seed to the Bazaar. So I don't only want to send out the stuff. I want that you, if you don't like it, that you can trade things. And yeah, by sending you random stuff, the possibility that you have stuff that you don't like, that you don't need, is increased. So you can post a picture there or description and find someone else who has other stuff that you'd rather have instead. So Madman says it's a very reasonable priced FC, $50, well, which is actually quite a bit more than most other FCs that you can buy, for example, on Banggood. But yeah, you get what you pay for. These people love what they do, and it's one of the best controllers out there, and they will help you if you have trouble. So let's move on. What else is on the table? This one here, one of my favorites. I have flown this thing a lot. I built this thing when I was really into flying FPV, and it's a very sturdy ABS printed solid frame. Yeah, one of my very first frame designs, and I loved printing orange for a long time. I printed a lot of this orange filament, but then I found a filament which is a lot easier to print because it's very difficult to get the support material off that of these ABS prints. I hacked into my fingers so many times by printing these frames, so I eventually moved to a different filament. But yeah, here's one of the original frames. It was designed for one of the flight controllers I had that didn't even have plugs, and at that point I sold it PH2 plugs to my flight controllers, so these motors still have PH2 plugs, but I include a couple of spare motors for good measure, and I also include the orange Stormtrooper dude. I forgot what exact kind of trooper he is. If you know what an orange Stormtrooper is, please post it in the chat room below. It includes one of these Extreme RC, I think they are carbon fiber reinforced Hubsan style props. Yeah, they are usually not the best, but I found 4 that actually work. But today I built this thing with 66mm parrot props. So yeah, if you get this, I suggest you remove the motors, remove the propellers, put some of the 820-15 motors in that I'll include with the frame, and replace the props with 66mm parrot props. The original Alienware flight controller fits on here, as will most other FCs, and there are holes on the bottom to at first feed the wires through, but also you can use them to wrap rubber bands through and tie yourself a battery strap. So yeah, that's the orange Stormtrooper dude quad. Oops, wrong button again, sorry. Getting confused by aligning my switcher thing here a little different than I used to. Drone Junkie loves the orange trooper. I have to get that box somehow. Yeah, so Drone Junkie, you can buy a ticket. The more tickets you buy, the better your chances are to get the orange Stormtrooper dude. Next one in line to be wrapped into one of the center boxes is the FPV Dragonfly. Very robust FPV setup. I couldn't get it to break, and we tried. Yeah, I've shown it last time, I think. Camera's underneath. It's an MC900. Ooh. Yeah, should probably fix that in place again. One of the zip ties slipped off. So yeah, usually method to fix stuff onto these frames: a tiny bit of double-sided tape plus 1 or 2 or 3 zip ties holds things on. Has a little more modern version of the Alienware classic flight controller, 400mm Bosscam video transmitter. Only use if it's legal in your country and you have a amateur radio license. Has a voltage regulator, Apollo, sorry, where's the camera? Apollo 5-volt voltage regulator. These things run hot like a Ofenkartoffel. So, which means very hot. If you touch it, you burn your fingers and hot glue will melt. That's why the VTX sits in the prop wash. So this thing needs to be flown. If it crashes, you better run, otherwise it will melt down. That's not that bad, but yeah, really you don't want to have this sitting there for too long and just transmitting without having the prop wash going over the heatsink. So that's why this is all made with custom plug adapters. So in that time when I was building these things, I spent a lot of time making custom power and video looms. So there's all plugs in between. So you want to unplug the video transmitter while you are having this sitting there powered and muck around with the flight controller. Also, yeah, it's also very important because it's taking the power off the flight controller. If you plug it into USB, unplug the VTX before you do this. Otherwise, the VTX will pull so much power that you will not be able to power up the board and connect to the configurator software. So before you're mucking around on the flight controller, unplug the VTX. I'll see the camera came off here. So there's 2 zip ties around it to give it a little bit of an angle. And it seems like the double-sided tape has gone already. So yeah, I'll make a couple of minor fixes to it before this one goes into the box. And as usual, a couple of spare motors for good measure. Chat room, what's up? The camera needs more tilt on the Dragonfly, says Madman. Yeah, it was in the beginning of my FPV flying, so yeah, you certainly can angle this up a lot more. More tilt we need. So, moving on, what else is on the table? The inverted Insanocopter, very nice but crazy build, because it has sort of like a tele lens. Doesn't look like a tele lens, looks very small, but it's a very, very narrow angle lens. It's glued in there, but you can still remove it if you want to, because I've heat shrunk the camera and then hot glued the heat shrink to the frame. Very good, solid, yet slightly flexible mount here, very well protected by these bumpers here in the front and by the motors being a little higher than the camera. So yeah, I crashed this many times, it just keeps on going. Oh, it looks like I've taken out the VTX for some reason, but I think I have a few of them left. No, looks like I don't. So yeah, this one comes without a VTX, but again, this has a custom-made wire loom, which yeah, you just need to find or make a suitable. So I probably should be able to find a plug that I can include. You need yeah, just a 3-pin connector on your VTX, and you'll get filtered power in, ground, and video signal from that little 3-pin micro JST plug here. Has a very ancient version, I believe. Oh no, 2.4. A classic, not narrow Alienwave flight controller version 2.4. Comes with some low profile 3M dual lock tape on the bottom to mount your batteries, and I've chosen, for whatever reason, to mount the props on the bottom. So it's very hard to launch and to land. It was kind of a challenge build for me. I had some very crazy flights with it because it's super hard to fly with that narrow lens. But once you've worked it out, you can fly really fast because you can see much further with that lens than you can with one of these traditional wide angle lenses. So yeah, this is a challenge. It has a white, oh no, a yellow zip tie on it to make it a little bit more visible when you crash it in the grass, because the rest is all transparent. And also you can oh no, this was, I remember why I did that. It was not only to find it, but also to launch it. So this is how we launch it. It's meant to fly FPV, so you put your goggles on, or you arm it before, put it on the table or on the ground, arm it, put your goggles on, and then hold it like that away from you, so you don't smack yourself in the face immediately, because it's not a tiny whoop, but it has 17,000 kV motors with open props. Hurts a lot if you fly that in your face. So yeah, put your goggles on, transmitter on the lap, and then hold it away like that, and throttle up and get the right hand back to the transmitter to get flying. So yeah, it crashed a lot. I replaced the motors and the props a few times. These ones have seen some minor use, but there are some of the good ones. The original batch of transparent Hubsan clone props that I got at some stage, which just kept on delivering and crashing. So yeah, that's why they're on this quad. But because even if you land on them, they can take a beating. So yeah, that goes into the box as well. Mullet thinks that the 3M low profile stuff is the bee's knees. I do agree. So yeah, pusher quad, that's it. Anyone here into fixed wings? Got my first in RC Club Ruffle. Paint foam, I know that's difficult. I just wouldn't do it. But there's probably many people who can tell you how that works. No related questions. Let's move on. What else is on the table? We're getting close to finishing at least that table. I have a couple more boxes which I just quickly will go through. But yeah, I'm already at almost at the end of the hour, and yeah, as I said, usually I go over, but I try to keep it as limited as possible this time. That chat is tough, says Madman. VBH tape, you mean? Scott got finally an iCharger 406 Duo. My lord, it's amazing. Yes, big shout out to the iCharger, or to the Yunzi charger. 406 and the 4010, I think it is. Crazy power and crazy programmability. It sits there behind me. I've moved it around now. My charging station is there behind me. Yeah, amazing charger. Best there is. Most powerful there is. Most programmable there is. Unfortunately, also one of the most expensive there is. But yeah, it's worth every dollar. Moving on. Quite a special build here. Maybe never seen before, never heard before. This is a frame designed by Zippen, made out of tough as a $2 steak nylon, printed in laser sintering somewhere in New Zealand, I believe, by our friends at 3dprint.com-iu, something like this, 3d-print-com.iu or something like that. I have it in my bookmarks. Just PM me if you actually want to print stuff in Australia or New Zealand. I'll send you the link. The camera is mounted flat because the motors are mounted at an angle, so it has some implicit forward thrust by flying it level. It has a quite interesting construction on the bottom. Not sure if you can see that. I've soldered pin headers to that 400 milliwatt Boscam video transmitter, and the wires are literally a couple millimeters short, but because the pins are exposed, it's very easy to solder to them. So yeah, kind of minimalistic, as short wires as possible was the plan here. Yeah, didn't do this on the, actually I shortened the motor wires initially as well, but then crashed a few times and replaced the motors, so that's why these are actually a little longer than necessary, so I wrap them around the arms. There's no flight controller included. A flight controller goes on top of this thing here. The antenna is zip tied to the frame, and big blob of keratin glue at the joint. So this is not supposed to break, and I crashed it many times. It does not break. The frame is not 100% symmetric. It's a little lower at the back than at the front. It's very flexible. It will not break. I built quite a few of them, and also will keep the other working one that I have of that build, because it's actually quite fun, but I went away from building tilted mounts because it screws around with the controls quite a bit. So it flies fine in a straight line, but as soon as you start cornering fast, it gets a little weird. So if you compensate for that by, adjusting your flying style, it's actually quite fun. It's a little bit like riding a bull. So it's quite fast and powerful, but as soon as you want to tell them what to do, you'll get some backlash. So still, fun thing to fly, and I think very unique. I think you can't buy this frame anywhere. I also don't have any rights to commercially sell it. So, but I think these couple of unique ones I have. I hope Rebecca is fine with me giving them away, sort of in that Bazaar environment. If not, please contact me, Miss Zippen Design. I'd like to continue our cooperation. Where did I leave off? Why there's no... because I didn't switch away from the chat app. I don't have that that new message bar. Where did we... What is top notch? Santa stuff to do. I should probably read in the right order. Where's Denovic? Where is he? Airbrushing form. It's 13:30. Time's up. But I still have a little bit to move through, so let's move in quicker. I have no idea of painting foam. Let's not ramble about that. A laser sinter lizard, that's it. Please, if you want to say something directly to me, please include at Dr. Ben and I'll read it. Otherwise, I just skim over it and get moving. Wrong button. So, these have been the models on the table here. Oh no, there's two more. I give away two of my completely built up Reggae Sharks. This one has a sideweight mounted classic Alien Wii Narrow and a 400 milliwatt Boscam video transmitter plus an MC900 in the front. Very, very capable little quad. Not allowed to fly in most races because it has so much VTX power. But if you want to fly this competitively or with friends together, just replace it with a 25 milliwatt transmitter and you'll be fine. As usual, I'll include a couple of spare motors for good measure. Same with this one here. That actually is one which I've been flying in competition. Has one of these all-in-one 25 milliwatt 40 channel camera VTX combos. Keratin glued the heck out of it to make it crashable. That includes the lens is fixed, focused and fixed with a dab of glue. The antenna is fixed in with plenty of keratin glue to make it last in crashes, because it's a little exposed here on the front, on the top. And all the connectors and things are keratin glued in place. As usual, comes with a set of spare motors to keep you going. That's it. That's been the highlight models on the table here, and I also pack a whole bunch of other boxes which will contain all the parts in here that I don't need anymore, just to give you a quick whiff of it. These here are all the, not all the, but quite a few of the shipments that came back over the last couple of months for whatever reason. People moved, post stuffed up, or I don't know, label fell off or whatever. Lots of stuff came back. I'm not going to resell things like that, but I think the chances are very, very high that there's some stuff still very flyable in there. So I'll put them together in bunches that I consider worth a lot more than the ticket price of $50, and will randomly send them out. Also, there's a few more of these set boxes with lots of built and half-built models in there. For example, a little orange TRX1 with a custom mount in there which carries a micro MWC, so you can fly this with the proper transmitter. And ooh, the motors look pretty worn, so there'll be some spare motors for good measure with all of these. A couple of speeder bikes. I forgot what this one is, but I remember it flies pretty good in the box. Oh, here, awesome frame. One made by Mr. MJ666. I call it the tank frame. Very, very difficult to get the motors in and out, so yeah, have fun with that. I include some spare motors, but there's some original powder-coated Dark Force motors in there. I think I haven't flown that much. Looks like I've stuck a micro MWC board on there, which I wouldn't do again today. Yeah, very, very nice frame. Comes with a couple of spare motors for good measure. Probably don't send this away. Doesn't fly very good. Looks good though. I hear paling in the chat room. What's going on? Mullet hopes that I keep some stuff for myself. Don't worry. What does not smell like China boxes? Oh yeah. No, nothing that what you get from me will smell like smoke. This is a smoke-free household, and I hate getting stuff that smells like smoke. Yeah, probably. I don't know how we call this, but things that pick up during our childhood. My father smokes and still smokes, and every time he sends me something, it stinks, and that's unfortunately also true for much stuff being sent from China. This is just, as much as I admire the Chinese and the Japanese culture, wow, you gotta get rid of that smoking, guys. Yeah, don't worry. Actually, I'll keep more for myself if I make room, because then I can build more. These things have not just happened to come to me. I made them all. So I'm gonna continue making quads, so I need space. Well, Jason is still obsessed with his two-headed printer. Have fun with that. Track. I'm not exactly giving away stuff, so you have to commit as well and buy a $55 Bazaar ticket. The link is in the video description. But yeah, I think I can consider giving it away. There'll be much more value in these boxes than the ticket price of $55. But yeah, I learned over my career of giving away stuff, it's not good to just give it away and make it for free and everyone can just go there and get it for free. It's good if you commit a little bit as well. Otherwise, I just end up giving the stuff away to people who don't even know if they need this and probably have a lot less probably have something good to start with that than those who commit a little bit as well. And I just not just want to get rid of the stuff. I want that all these things find a good and caring home and will be flown. Oh, that's a plane. Is that the carbon fiber mock shell on that Hobson? One from a long ago video. Carbon fiber mock shell, yeah. It's the carbon Hobson. Doesn't it look beautiful? Yeah, it's just plastic with some carbon decal wrap from the car shop. I think I only have the upper part of it. Yes, and this is not something that I'd want to send away. It's not that great. Need at least the other parts. If I would find it and if I would find the time to fix it all up and make it work properly, then yes, but probably no. Here's another box of stuff that I'm going to send away. I don't know whoever wants these, but some people still asking me about it. This is some load of brass pinions. So yeah, I guess just kind of sprinkle them into the other boxes just to get them under the people, get them in the bazaar. I'm not sure if anyone ever needs brass pinions anymore, since we make good quality polymer pinions, but yeah, I have them, I don't need them. I hope someone else needs them. Also in this box is like a whole bunch of these. These are 8mm gear mounts. If you get one of these, look up my video, which is called Injecting the Force into the Cyma X5. With these, you can do that. You can take a Cyma X5 and mount 8mm motors in it, and it will fly pretty well. With each of these packs, I'll include a couple of motors for good measure. And then, yeah, I have a whole lot of boxes with like frames and other frame parts. I'll combine them all with that they somehow make sense and fit together, and it won't be complete. So for every one of them, you will at least need batteries and probably a few other parts to make them work. But if you already have quite a few parts sitting at home and are building quads, this might just be what you need. And if not, please post a picture of the stuff you got in the Micromotor Bazaar thread on the Micromotor community, and yeah, swap things with the other people, which I hope will do the same. So I've seen smoke in that room, so oh yeah, sometimes I smoke, but no tobacco. Sometimes we smoke components. That's right. Long time ago, I remember it was pretty hot at that day, very sunny, so I had the curtains here closed, and also I was using my big fatty at that time to run my live streams, which has major problems with high contrast. So today, yeah, this is a much better camera that I'm currently using. That's why even if the curtains are opened and it's quite bright outside, the camera deals just fine with wide dynamic range. Arshoy, Richard, I believe, is late to the party, but I saw that you were trying to mod the Airhawk's Millennium Falcon. I managed to mod it with some 820-15 motors. So there's hope, my friends. If you get the Airhawk's Millennium Falcon that I got on Bazaar here, you might have a pretty good chance to get it working. So check out the link that Richard posted in the chat room. My Mac is soon running out of battery, I'm told. So more reason to hurry up. I love how he jumps. Come on, man, it was scary. The battery exploded in my hand while I was focusing on doing a live stream. So yeah, of course, you know, I'm making a show here, so I can't just jump like a chicken and then run away with the burning battery. You gotta show you what's happening. I'm glad you're liking it. So yeah, before I run out of battery, let me quickly go through the rest here. Now there needs to be a zonk as well. I'm not sure if you know what I mean by zonk, but like kind of if you buy a lottery ticket and you don't win anything, just like a wham, you lost slap in the face. Or maybe actually it's not, but one of the packages that I'm going to send will contain the Micromotor Graveyard. So this is some of the motors that have fallen victim to my careless flying style. Some of them are also just taken out of some RTF quads. Some of them have just been replaced for good measure. So a lot of them probably don't work anymore, but I bet there's at least 100 working motors in all that graveyard in here. So if you get that thing, good luck, my friend. If you have a lot of patience, you might be able to build a lot of quads of that stuff, but you will also be cursing a lot. So I passed this curse on, the curse of maybe working motors. So it should have a label, but yeah, I know the label, so that's why I didn't put it on here. It should say maybe working. So this is my maybe working motor box. Probably be expensive to ship that, and customs might get crazy over it as well because of the magnetism coming out of this. So yeah, if you have a heart rate monitor, a heart rate giver, better keep away from the Micromotor Graveyard. And yeah, then there are a couple more boxes which just have frames, and other frame parts. Hey, look, there might be even another micromotor sleigh in there. Let's see if I find the bottom part for this as well. So yeah, lots of parts that I ordered, printed, made, whatever, and they have never made it to the ever-growing project list. So, oh, look at this one. This is a Parrot cargo frame with custom printed plate which attaches to these Lego studs. Yeah, so all of these I'll box up, and I'll make sure that there's way more value than $50 in each of these boxes. Most of them will be sent out over the next 24 hours, which starts now at, whenever this video is published. 1 hour 15 minutes after it started, so in around 22 hours and 45 minutes from starting of this video, the DHL guy for Tuesday Australian Eastern Standard Time, I believe it is, will turn up here and pick up these. Not this one. This one I keep for myself. 4 of these Santa sleighs will be wrapped up in insane tank cardboard boxes and shipped via DHL Express everywhere in the world, even to places where regular post will take ages to come to. The DHL Express wormhole will hurry up and bring it to you as fast as they can. The shipping will be more expensive than $50 just by itself, but yeah, it's finally time to move. I made many Christmas plans and they never were executed, so this time these things have to go. Amongst all of these, all of you who buy a ticket within the next 24 hours or the next 22 hours and 45 minutes now, you get one of these. If you purchase a ticket later than that, you'll still have a good chance of getting something sweet, but it'll not be as fast, and it will not be as Christmassy and as unique as these little frames. Merry Christmas, my friends. Thanks for hanging out here with me. Let's have a quick last look into the chat room before I get moving. You don't want that box, my friend? Someone will get the insane zonk. Not a jab, learned. B2 Unit says, Ed Ben, thanks for plugging my stuff. So I think you mean me, even though it hasn't linked, because I'm Dr. Ben in this chat here. But let's see, maybe Ben exists. So maybe he didn't mean me. So I'm sorry if Ben is actually here. But yeah, B2 Unit. This is in disguise Mr. Micro FPV.eu. So if you want to have some good stuff, you can buck B2 Unit. Rob in the Netherlands. Thanks, my friend, for hanging out here in the middle of the night. Hoax is laughing. Glad you're having fun. Broken motors have some use somewhere, somehow. I know it. Yeah, I've been saving them all. You're my soulmate. Yeah, someone would get it. Fridge decorations. You can take them out, the magnets out of the motors, and yeah. There's 1% battery left. Time to go. 2S brush, no plans yet, but maybe. Fa la 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 la. It's orange. The shipping will be over $50. Yes. It's probably like $100 or so to send something with a small box with DHL Express around the world. But yeah, in order to get stuff in before Christmas from Australia, only DHL Express makes it possible. So yeah, thanks again, my friends. Doing an awesome job here. 1% battery left. Time to go. See you later, my friends. See you maybe this year in another live stream, the Reddit AMA together with Jesse Perkins. But that's it for the Micromotor workshop for this year, and that's it for the Micromotor Bazaar. So I'll go to work now. See you later.